Keir Starmer, the UK's Prime Minister, has unexpectedly found himself at the centre of a holiday scandal in Madeira, and it's not about politics, policy, or global affairs. It all started with something as trivial as a toboggan ride, but what appeared to be a light-hearted family moment quickly spiralled into a significant controversy. The fallout has been nothing short of explosive, as 20 Labour councillors have resigned in fury over Starmer's perceived lies and betrayals, particularly regarding cuts to the winter fuel allowance. These councillors believe that vulnerable women who missed out on their pensions should be supported, and their mass resignation comes at a particularly embarrassing time for Starmer, who is currently under fire from all angles. While enjoying what should have been a fun family outing, Starmer and his family bypassed a 3-hour queue, whisked straight to the front by security guards like VIPs. The optics couldn't have been worse as hundreds of tourists sweltered under the sun, waiting their turn while Starmer's family was ushered ahead. The frustration boiled over into anger, with some tourists booing him and shouting, "Get to the back." It's baffling how someone in his position can fail to act like a normal human being in such a situation. Starmer's family was spotted enjoying one of Madeira's top tourist attractions, but their privileged treatment turned what should have been a simple toboggan ride into a glaring symbol of elitism. As everyday families, including parents with tired kids and elderly tourists struggling to stand, waited in the heat, Starmer's actions screamed entitlement. It wasn't just about skipping a line, it was a stark reminder of how disconnected leadership can be from the struggles of ordinary citizens. How can he justify such behavior when he should be focused on running the country? The backlash from this incident didn't stay confined to the sun-drenched streets of Madeira. Social media exploded with outrage, with critics branding Starmer's actions as elitist and out of touch. Was this just a slip-up, or did it reveal something more troubling about his leadership style? It's not the first time Starmer has faced public derision. Just months ago, he was met with similar disdain at Doncaster's St. Leo Festival. This pattern is alarming and indicates a growing disconnect between Starmer and the electorate that he's supposed to serve. While in Madeira, Starmer's toboggan ride fiasco only deepened the frustration felt by many. Critics pointed out that while Parliament was in recess, he could have chosen to spend his holiday in the UK, connecting with the very people he governs. But no, instead, he hopped on a plane to a tropical paradise, where he and his family skipped the line like they were royalty. Imagine standing in that queue for hours, only to see a privileged individual breeze past you with no explanation. It's infuriating. Frustrated tourists expressed their disbelief, saying they had waited for hours even with pre-booked tickets. When they recognized Starmer, they didn't hold back. They booed, they jeered, and they shouted for him to return to the back of the queue. This moment encapsulated the growing anger towards Starmer, a leader who seems increasingly out of touch with the struggles of the common man. The divide between the powerful and the public has never been so stark. As the outrage simmered, the contrast with Starmer's New Year address couldn't have been more jarring. While the nation faced rising energy costs and soaring living expenses, Starmer was basking in the warmth of Madeira, seemingly oblivious to the struggles of his constituents. His speech, intended to inspire, fell flat, providing little reassurance to a country grappling with a bitter winter. Critics were quick to label him as dull and uninspiring, underscoring the disconnect between his leadership and the realities faced by millions of Britons. The timing of Starmer's holiday only exacerbated the situation. While pensioners wrapped themselves in blankets to save on heating costs, Starmer's vacation felt like a slap in the face. Questions swirled about why the Prime Minister was so far removed from the hardships of the people he leads. His choice to vacation abroad rather than in the UK seemed to reflect a deeper issue, especially as the UK tourism industry struggles under the weight of the migrant crisis. This isn't just a holiday scandal. It's about leadership and priorities. As the UK faced a winter crisis, citizens wanted solutions, not a leader who appears disconnected from their struggles. If Starmer's actions continue to fuel this growing dissatisfaction, he may face even greater challenges in the months ahead. His public image is rapidly becoming synonymous with elitism and a lack of empathy. From Madeira to Doncaster, his public appearances increasingly stir anger rather than inspire. Once viewed as a fresh alternative to previous leaders, Starmer now finds himself battling the perception that he is out of touch and disliked by the public. It's not just about poor decisions, it's about leadership that feels distant, even cold. If he can't bridge the gap between himself and the people, the challenges he faces will only multiply. As the heat continues to rise, one thing is clear: Starmer's leadership is under intense scrutiny, and the public is fed up. The way he navigates this crisis will define not only his tenure but also the future of the Labour Party. The people are watching, and they demand accountability. If Starmer doesn't recalibrate his approach and genuinely connect with the struggles of the public, he risks losing their support entirely. The question looms large. Will he rise to the occasion or continue down a path of growing discontent?